Hello music creators, Mike here, and in this video you are going to learn the true power of automating with LFOs in Omnisphere. So check this out right now. You will also get some bonus power tips if you watch to the end of this video. So here you will find the LFO section in Omnisphere. LFO stands for Low Frequency Oscillator and is a way to automate any parameter in your synthesizer. So what's great about Omnisphere is you not only get one, but 8 different LFOs that all can have a different rate, which means speed of the LFO, and depth, which means how much is applied to the parameter you assign it to. So the first thing you need to do is, of course, map the LFO to any parameter. And you can do this in several ways. One is to use right here, this section, modulation, and then you choose LFO1 and apply, this is the LFO1, apply that to a source. Let's say we want to automate the filter cutoff frequency here. So you go to filter cutoff. And now you can even see it moving here, which I actually really like. Not many synthesizers have that. And that is LFO1. So if I change the rate here, you can see this will move faster. And you will of course hear it in the sound. If I reduce the depth, this will move, but not as close to the sides. You will reduce, basically, until at 0, it doesn't do anything. So it applies, it does this to the sound, or this at the maximum setting. So it's basically an automation of turning knobs and sliders. So the first aspect is the rate. The next one is the depth. You can also choose a waveform. In most cases, it will be a simple sine wave. But if you put it on, for example, a square wave, it will cut immediately from the highest right to the bottom here, which creates more of a stuttery kind of sound. In most cases, the sine wave or the triangle wave, which are more smooth here, will create a better result, because in most cases you want slower movement like this. Another thing you can do is sync the LFO to a tempo, meaning if I click this, you can see the note values here. So for example, quarter notes. So one cycle is 1 quarter note now. Now, when I map the parameter this way, I can only see this first one here. So you need to go into this plus here and see the modulation matrix, which is actually 4 pages full of modular madness that you can do. So the first one here is LFO1. Now what's really cool is that you can apply LFO1 to any other parameter. Let's say we apply it to the filter resonance as well. And you can also set the mid setting here. So let's say if we go back here, this is the left and right. Let's reduce it so it isn't so extreme. You can set where the mid setting is for the LFO, the center point of the waveform, basically. So that is here in the modulation. Now you can see they move in perfect timing here. What you can also do is that you apply a delay to the starting point of the waveform. So if I increase this, for example, like that, if I have this now, when I hit the note now, it will not start the LFO on this aspect until after 200 milliseconds. Or let's do longer. So you can hear it. For example, what you can do with this is add some kind of vibrato coming in after a while. Like that. And of course, you need to adjust the rate and depth to your liking. So that is how you can map the parameters, and you can go into the modulation matrix and map, for example, let's say you wanted LFO2 to control the resonance. Well, use that one instead, and then you can have different timings on this because they are independent of each other. So you can have a different rate on this one. Let's say this one is on half notes and this one is on quarter notes and various depths here. Let's put a delay on the second LFO. Let's use a rounded square pattern for it instead. And now if we go in here, plus sign, modulation matrix, you can see they're not in sync. They are different timing. And as you can see, with 8 LFOs that you can map to, they are the source, map to practically anything. I mean, it goes insane. And even if you have the same LFO here, so now you can see, but if I click the invert button, they will be in sync, but this one will be inverted, so it will go in the opposite direction, and then back again. So they will start basically at the different part, after half, when this first one goes up, the other one will be here and go down, but they will meet eventually. You can also mute this if you want to, like, go back and see how it sounded initially. You're not liking it. Mute it. You can smooth the LFO, which is more important for, sharper waveforms on the LFO. If you use a sine wave, it's not really necessary. And again, you can change the midpoint of it. And you can also change this amount here is basically the depth knob, but instead of using the depth knob on the overall LFO, so let's say you have it on max, so it goes like that. Even with the same LFO 1, you can apply max to 1, which is full left and full right, and only a close, you can see it here, to this one. It's still run by the same LFO max depth, but the same LFO 1 can be applied in various amounts to different targets. And again, you can even go further with more LFOs. Now, I want to show you a really powerful bonus tip now, which I love about Omnisphere. And that is, instead of going into the modulation matrix or adding a LFO here with the source target buttons here, you can just right-click on a parameter. Let's say amp fader here. Right-click, modulate with LFO, and look what happens. Voila! This window opens up, and you can see the LFO routing here. So you can change a new routing here, which is basically the same as this, and this in the same window. But I prefer it because it's faster. It's just like you go into, let's modulate this symmetry, modulate with LFO, voila, it's there. It was applied to LFO 3 automatically, but you want to have it on 1, just shift it. And you even have access to LFO presets, like fast vibrato here. So as you can see, LFO modulation to automate any parameter, even effects parameters like distortion, or let's do amplifier, this one. You can automate, for example, automate this level here with, let's say we take reverb. You can automate the amount of reverb here. Like so. So this one is automated with an LFO, like that. Going from dry to full, and so on. You can speed it up. And there's so much you can do with LFO power in Omnisphere. Now choose which video you are going to watch next, or you can check out the amazing bonuses in the video description.